Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 13, almost Christmas. And I got folks in here from Clubhouse. I got folks here from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. All right. And Kenny wants to come to the stage. So we're going to bring Kenny up, invite Kenny to speak. Kenny's on. Now, if you're watching us on the other social media platforms, Kenny is on Facebook, so you won't be able to see him, but you will be able to hear him. Good morning, Kenny. How are you, sir?
Great, great. Just a quick question. I heard you actually speak about buying down the rates. Would this include any mortgages for veterans, or is it another program?
Oh, no. Most anybody can buy down the rate. And I'm telling you, it's not worth the cost. We're going to give some ideas about how we could do that. I see Kim Essex in here. Listen, I haven't seen her since TV. Come on up. I'm going to invite her to speak because she's been on TV. She's a real estate agent. So if we can get Kim to come up, that would be great. I would love that. All right. So that's what we're talking about, Kenny. We're talking about why should people, most times buying down the rate just doesn't make sense. And I'm going to do some math. I'm going to put it on the screen. Right now, we have my YouTube link in the chat. So if you want to see, I understand, Kim. If you want to see the numbers, I'm going to put it on the screen on YouTube. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone is talking about finances, anyone's talking about real estate, anyone is talking about how you can do well, you can do better financially, make them show you the numbers. Because anybody can say a lot of things. All right. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be on TV right now coming up on the holidays. And I heard somebody say last year, and it may sound right, but it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'll be able to show you why it's ridiculous. I heard them say that you use your credit card for Christmas, you need to pay that off. And they use the idea that your interest rate on your credit card is sometimes 3, 4, 5, and even 6 times higher than your mortgage. So you should pay that credit card off quick, fast, in a hurry. All right. Can I show you today that doesn't tell you the whole story? If you look at your credit card interest rate versus your mortgage interest rate, they don't even begin to compare. I'm going to show you. So if somebody wants to see that right now, good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Eric. All right. And listen, if you want to see the numbers, put a number 9 in the chat, and I will show you why that idea where people are not telling you the whole story, telling you that your credit card interest rate is so high, it's actually better than your mortgage interest rate. So you should pay more attention to the credit cards and not the mortgage. If you want to see the numbers, put a number 9 in the chat, and I will show you why that's not the whole story. All right. All right. So if you're online, go ahead and put a number 9 in the chat. If you're in Clubhouse, put a number 9 in the chat, and I will show you the numbers. All right. All right. And Yete, how are you this morning? And Sheila's back. All right. Listen, you all need to come to the stage. So even if you don't say anything, just come to the stage by your presence. Your presence invites more people in. So we're going to invite Miss Sheila up. Come on up. All right. Thank you. And because, see, listen, Kenny he has 1,000 friends. So when he hit the stage, all 1,000 of his friends, they were notified that he was here. And Sheila has 219 friends. So all of her friends were notified. So go ahead if you want people to see this. Now I do have some number 9s here coming in on my online. So we've got Delgracia Stewart. Good morning. And Eric Toombs, and they're saying 999. I want to see that. And Yete said all of her friends disappeared. I am so sorry, but they'll come back. They will come back. They'll come back. All right. So let me show you something before we jump in here, because knowing the truth about how these loans work is very important. So remember, I have my link to my YouTube channel in Clubhouse. You can see that. Let's go and take a look at these numbers. Okay. So I'm going to hide this and I'm going to put this on the stage. Boom. I got an amortization schedule here. All right. I was going to use this for a different purpose, but man, you just get to talking, and now we're going to be talking about showing it in a different way. Let me go ahead and change my view here. There we go. All right. Oh, before we get started, I've got some good news for you guys. For everyone that's online right now, whether you're watching us live or you're watching the replay, starting next year, if you're online, you'll be able to participate. If you're on your computer, if you have good internet, all right, you're going to be able to come online with us and ask your questions. We're going to bring you on board so you can talk to us and ask your questions and participate in the show. All right. Listen, it's going to be a whole thing. Listen, this is going to be produced like a TV show starting the 1st of January, our first show in January. If you are online, you won't have to just type your questions. You can come online and talk to us. We're going to add you right to the show. All right. So remember, all right. So don't forget you're going to be online now. All right. And you want to be like fully dressed and have your hair done. Okay. I'm just saying. All right. All right. So Eric Toom says, yay. All right. You're going to be online. We're going to be online with us. All right, folks, let's take a look at these numbers. And I want to show you something. This is a 4% interest rate. Okay. A 4% interest rate. I'm going to put in $420,000 at 4%. You can't even get 4% right now. It's more like 7.5 to 8%. But I'm going to use this as an example, okay? Because at the time they were talking about this, interest rates were 3 and 4. All right. So I'm going to calculate that. All right. So you guys can see that. I'm also going to add in. An amount for credit cards. Okay. We're going to add an amount for credit cards. And somebody give me a balance. How much do we want to put on this credit card? I'm going to put it in at 27%. Okay. 27% versus 4%. Somebody give me a number. How much do you want me to put on this credit card, everybody? All right. First number I see, we'll put it in. Make sure it's a good one. All right. How much do we want to put on this credit card? Anybody? Anybody goes, help me out here?
$13,000.
$13,000. Okay, there we go. So we're going to put $13,000 on this credit card. All right, 13,000. All right, now at 27%. Now, if you're using Brett Whistle, let's give you this link so you guys can use it. So we're going to copy the link. We're going to put it in online here. We're also going to put it in on Clubhouse. There we go. And so that you can play around with Brett Whistle. All right. And we're going to send it there because that's what I'm using. If you put in a credit card, remember to change the number of payments to 240. The reason for that, all credit cards are amortized for 240 months, not 360 months. All right. So this is the amortization for credit cards. All right. So we got 13,000. Now, all the experts are saying you got a $13,000 balance at 27%. You're looking at your credit card, your mortgage is at 4%, and they're telling you that this credit card is killing you. All right. So what if, let's just say you're fortunate enough that you use your credit cards just to get the points. All right. And you do have the money to pay it off immediately. All right. So listen, I said, okay, Sharella, I see you. She's watching us on Facebook, Sharella Jackson Shaw. She said 10K. But listen, Sharella, this is going to work just as well. Eric Toom said 15K. I want you to know that I did see that. Okay. But the first one I saw was 13. So we're going to use that. Okay. Now, in the first month, I'm going to ask everybody in the first month using a credit card, do you pay interest for the first month on this thing? Do you pay interest on this for the first month? Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? I'm looking for some answers. All right. Now, don't forget, you do have that grace period for the first 30 days. If you pay it off, what happens if you pay it off before the first 30 days is up? What happens? Okay. You don't pay any interest. Okay. So after the bill closes, that's when they'll add that interest on. Okay. So if you can pay this card off within the first month, generally, now I'm speaking in generalities because, you have the closing date and the statement date and then the payment date. But let's just say you have a full 30 days. So you pay that thing off before the statement closes. You don't owe any interest, but you can figure out what the interest would be. So here's the thing. Let me show you. How much interest would you pay on this card? All right. Let me see here. If we had we have $13,000. All right, $13,000 for 240 months. The interest cost on this card is $292.50. So you run the risk of being charged $292.50. So if you pay the whole card off before, this is what the experts are telling you. Listen, when I heard it, I'm saying somebody's not doing the math. Okay? Because they're saying that this 27% card is worse than this 4% mortgage. You need to focus on this card. All right? Let me show you something. Because we hear the interest rate, we have no idea, most of us, how much the interest cost is, and the interest cost is $292.50. So if you pay the card off, you avoid paying $292.50. Does this make sense, everybody? If I pay the card off within the first 30 days before they can charge me the interest, I can avoid $292.50 in interest. So if I have $13,000 in the bank, should I pay the card off? Or should I look at my mortgage and say, you know what? $420,000. All right. If I put this money on my card, $13,000, look here, $13,000 on this mortgage knocks off 21 months, almost 2 years. I eliminate almost 2 years off my mortgage with $13,000 and save about $28,000 in interest. Now, let me go back. Listen. I want to make sure you hear what I'm talking about. Here's what the experts are telling you. Okay. 27%. Okay. So 27%, what they're saying is that's way more than we got 27. We're going to divide that by 4. Look at here. What they're saying is that that's almost 7 times. Your credit card interest rate is almost 7 times more than your mortgage rate. That's what they're telling you. You need to kill that credit card and knock it out. But they didn't do the math to show you that what they're talking about is true. So if I take a look at that, $293 I could save by paying the card off right now. But if I put that same $13,000 on the mortgage, I can kill $28,000 in interest. So am I saying don't pay the credit cards off? I am not saying that. What I am saying is you need to be strategic about which loans you pay off and when, because all of your loans carry interest if your credit cards aren't 0% interest, okay? But if they do carry an interest rate, all of your loans carry interest. Now, which ones are you going to pay? So what you're actually doing is choosing which interest do I choose to pay. So if I had a choice with my $13,000, which interest do I want to pay? Do I want to pay the $293? Or do I want to pay the $28,900? Do you see the huge difference if we only look at interest rate, but not calculate interest cost? And I'm giving you this Brett Whistle amortization calculator so you can kind of play around with this thing and understand it for yourselves. So if you got anything out of that, put a number 9 in the chat. Put a number 9 in the chat if that makes sense to you. All right, go ahead, right ahead. Put a number 9 in the chat if it makes sense. All right. So let's get into this thing about never buying down the rate, because we're going to be using the same kind of information. All right. Sharella says that makes sense to her. And yet Tay says it makes sense to her. Eric Toom says it makes sense. S. Ray says, watching us on YouTube, says number 9, it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. If you do that, Sheila says it makes sense. So this is why we do what we do. Now, I'm going to talk about right now. I heard it on CNBC yesterday, and we're talking about this guy. They were talking about mortgage interest rates and buying homes on CNBC. And a couple of things that they were talking about is using AI. Some banks are going to be using AI in the future to help their clients pay loans off faster. And we're going to use AI to benefit their clients. And this guy was talking about there's 2 regional banks that are starting to do that. Most other banks are not right now. They're not trying to help their clients pay less interest and to pay the loans off faster. You can use AI, artificial intelligence, to plug your numbers in and pay a lot less interest using your current budget. Most people don't know that. So let's take a look. Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, Eric, he mentioned at least 2, and I recorded it. All right, I've never heard of them before. They're just local banks. They're not interstate banks, okay, like Chase or Wells Fargo, right? They're small banks I've never heard of, but they are using they're using AI to help their customers do better. All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about. I'm going to use this $420,000 mortgage. Let me see if I can get rid of this advertising because it's distracting. There we go, it's gone. All right, so $420,000 mortgage at current rates, we're going to put in 7.5, and I'm going to ask you something. All right, let's just say that your builder, okay, there are sellers out there that are building these homes and then selling them. And as an incentive, because the interest rates are so high, they don't want these houses sitting in their inventory. And they know that people are afraid of the higher interest rates. Now, let me tell you something. Most of the people I talk to don't need a lower interest rate. They just want a lower interest rate. They want a lower payment. They don't necessarily need a lower payment. If you need a lower payment, I'm not talking to you. Right? Do what you have to do to get the house that you love, to get into it so it fits into your budget. I'm talking to people right now who have the choice of getting the higher interest rate or paying for a lower interest rate. So here's what I'm saying is that the builders are saying, listen, if you want, listen, I'll pay for, if you buy the house from me, I will pay the bank so that you can get a lower interest rate. Let's just say, and I'm making up some numbers here. They're going to take $12,000. All right, take $12,000 and pay for getting you a lower interest rate. Let's say they can get you 5.5. Now, if everybody else is paying 7.5, how attractive would it be if you could go to this builder and they say, we're selling our homes at 5.5% interest rate. Okay, 5.5% interest rate. I want to show you something that most people never think about. Why would the bank sell a lower interest rate for $12,000? Why would the bank do that? Can I show you the difference between the two mortgages? Now, I will tell you this to set it all up. Most people will never pay off a mortgage. Most people will never pay off a mortgage. Therefore, all of the interest that the bank is looking for, most people will pay that and then some. Okay, so most people will never pay off a mortgage in their entire life. And maybe we can talk about that some other time, but 9 out of 10 people will never pay off a mortgage. So let's take a look at the total interest cost on this mortgage. At $420,000, when you close on this mortgage, they must disclose to you that if you keep the loan for the entire time, you're going to pay $637,212 in interest on a $400,000 loan, $420,000 loan, which means the total amount paid back is $1,057,000. Do you want to pay $1,057,000 on your $420,000 home? No. So this is what they're showing you. So listen, we're going to get you a 5.5% interest rate. So from the bank's perspective, I'm only talking about from the bank's perspective now. Why would a bank for $12,000 sell you a 5.5% interest rate? Okay, so let's look at the difference. Okay, so we're going to copy and we're going to duplicate this tab, bring up the same loan. All right, bring up the same loan, and we're going to change it to 5.5. Now, if you're using Brett Whistle, remember, you have to remove the old payment amount or you're going to get a balloon payment and it won't work right. So remove the old payment amount. You have to have something blank for the program to fill in. So we got 5.5 now, and our new payment is $2,384.71 versus $2,936.70. So let's do the math on the payment amount first. We're going to do the math on the payment amount. All right. Anybody who wants to, I'm going to look at the screen from time to time. If you want to come to the stage and ask a question, ask your question. Interrupt me and ask your question. Don't wait for me to stop talking. Okay. Because we hate dead air. Just interrupt me if you've got a question. All right. And come to the stage and let's talk about it or type it in the chat. All right. So let's do the math on the payment. Okay. So if I'm a builder, I'm going to incentivize you. You don't have to pay 7.5. I'm going to fix it so you can pay 5.5. All right. And so on this mortgage, so your payment would be $29.36.70. Okay. So I'm going to get you 5.5. So that means your payment now will be $23.84.71. So let's subtract that. $23.84.71 equals $551. Almost $552. $551.99. $551.99. So I'm getting a pen here. We're going to put that in our notes. So The builder is saying, I'm going to save you $551.99 if you buy the home from me, because I will buy down the rate for you for $12,000. Okay. All right, Sheila. Sharella, she says she'll watch the replay. Thank you very much for being here. Watch the replay. All right. So we've got $551.99. That's our savings. Now let's take a look at what the bank stands to make and what the bank stands to lose. And you tell me why a bank would ever sell a lower interest rate for $12,000. Okay. So here's how much they stand to make. 637,000, because remember, most people will never pay off a mortgage. $637,212. All right. All right, let's listen. I heard that. Come on, Agnete, come on up to the stage. Agnete, what do you have to say about this? I'll take a quick break and get a drink of water. Oh, maybe you can't talk. All right, that's okay. Maybe you can't talk, but you came
No,
to.
I'm sorry. I was talking and then I was on mute. Okay, I was just gonna say, I'm watching on YouTube, so there is a slight delay. But I will say that $12,000 that the builder is offering, or to buy down that rate, is normally only for 2 years. I just want to point that in. A lot of these buy down rates right now, it's not even for the full 30 years. They're just buying it down for 18 months. You can pick how many months you want the buy down for. So just FYI, all this that you're getting down to, I don't know if you got to it yet, because once again, I'm on YouTube.
Yes.
It's not even like a full 30-year type thing. It's literally for maybe 2 years, 3 years. You choose how much you want to buy. So
okay.
I just wanted to insert that. Okay.
Thank you for that, because she's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. You can choose. Now, what I heard I heard the exact same thing on CNBC yesterday. You can also buy a permanent buy down. You can also get a permanent buy down. Let's pretend this is a permanent buy down and not just for 2 years. All right. Now, the reason why they're saying we can do it for like 2 to 3, maybe 5 years is this. You're going to be making more money because of raises. And every year you have this mortgage, it's going to be easier to pay because you're going to be making more money. That's what they're saying. That's how they're selling this thing. Okay. So as when that introductory rate goes away and your payment goes up, all right, you should be able to afford it because you should be making more money by then. That's what they're saying. But let's say it's a permanent buy down. Okay. Let's pretend it's permanent. Banks will sell a permanent buy down. And I want to show you, does it make sense from the bank's perspective to take a $12,000 or even $20,000 to sell a permanent buy down? All right. So now let's just say we can buy this thing down to 5.5% for the life of the loan. Okay. So the bank stands to make $637,000 on this. So the new total interest cost is what? $438,495.60. Ms. Sheila, what do you have to say about this while I'm putting the numbers in? Because you've unmuted your mic. Oh, she did that by mistake. Okay, that's all right. All right, so we have so let's subtract and see how much the bank is losing by selling you a lower interest rate. All right, so we're going to subtract $438,495.60 equals $198,716.40. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a question for you. Does it make sense for a bank to sell a lower interest rate if they stand to lose almost $200,000 by selling it for 12,000, for 20, even if somebody bought your interest rate down for $25,000. Does it make sense from the bank's perspective to lose nearly $200,000 because they're selling a lower interest rate? It would tend to make you think there's something else going on here. Why would a bank do that? So put it in the chat. Do you think it makes sense financially on the face of this thing to sell a lower interest rate where the bank stands to lose almost $200,000 in interest? Does it make sense? Put it in the chat. Yes or no? All right, I'm waiting. Because and yet you're right. There is a delay because of on YouTube. All right, am I getting any answers? Let me take a look here. Let me take a look on stage. Let me take a look. All right, nobody's answering. All right, how much does the permanent buy down cost? I don't care. Listen, you can get whatever it is, 25,000, 30. Listen, even if it was $50,000. All right. Listen, even if it doesn't matter. Does it make sense for a bank to sell a buy down if they stand to lose this much money, going from 7.5 to 5.5? Eric Armstrong says it makes no sense. Now, I need you all to put it in the chat. Put a number 8 in the chat. Okay. All right. You never thought about this before. You've heard about it, but you never thought about it from this perspective. Put a number 8 in the chat. If you've never thought about it from this perspective, why would a bank do this? Okay. And yet they says, not when their song is money, money, money. They want your money. It's like paying a down payment on a car. All right. That's true. That's true. And we listen, we don't recommend that at all. Making huge down payments, not a good idea at all. All right. Not a good idea. Eric Toom says number 8. I never thought about it from this perspective. He says, hold on. I got to fix my microphone here. Hold on. There we go. All right. So now here's what I'm saying. I'm going to show you why a bank would lower the interest rate if you're trying to save money, because you may hit upon a secret they don't want you to know. You may hit upon a secret about how this loan works. All right. And here's what's happening. At $420,000 at 7.5%, your principal payment is $311.70. Your second principal payment is $313.65. If you can afford this payment, if you can afford the payment of $2936.70, you make your first payment, and we're going to use this number, $313.65. If you prepay that, pay it before the next month. You made this payment here, where $311 went to principal, $26.25 went to interest, and you prepay this. You save this interest, and you're paid down to line 2 with only $313.65. The idea is to eliminate payments. So every time you make a payment here, a small amount of your money goes to principal, and you've eliminated one payment. But because the payment that goes to principal is so small, you literally have to make 360 of these payments to pay off the loan. And every time you make a payment, the bank just racks up these interest charges. All right. Somebody is getting this. But because out of your money, only this much is going to principal. So that's the idea of amortization. Give you a payment you can afford, but it is so expensive to maintain. So expensive to maintain. All right. That's very expensive. If you're new to the room, go to YouTube. I'm going to put the link back in the chat so that you guys can see it again. Copy. And we're going to put the link in the chat. You can go to YouTube. Once you get to YouTube, do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe, of course, like, like the videos, and comment. All right. We need you to do that. That helps out our algorithm. All right. So we've got that part. So let's take a look at the higher the interest rate, the lower the principal payment. But we're going to show you what happens when you lower the interest rate. So you're going to pay for a lower interest rate. We're going to be saving $551. All right. We're going to be saving overall $198,000, $198,716 in overall interest at the lower interest rate. And this is the incentive to sell it to you. But most people have no idea what happens when you prepay. You need to focus in on your interest cost and what you can do to eliminate interest costs. Set yourself up to eliminate a lot of interest cost. So if you take a look at this pay amount, look at your principal payment, $459, $461. So if you have this lower mortgage payment and you want to eliminate one line from your mortgage, you now have to come up with $461.82 to prepay to eliminate a whole line. Now you can pay any amount that you want, but if you want to get rid of one whole line on your amortization schedule, you can prepay $461.82 and that is gone. On the other loan, it's $313.65. So if you've heard this for the first time, write this down. Control the principal payment and you control the loan. Interest payments you skip don't matter. So here, about $1,000, if I make my regular mortgage payment at the higher interest rate, I can pay about $1,000, okay? 369, almost like $950, okay? If I add it all together, $940 or so, I can eliminate 3 interest payments I don't have to make. And my next mortgage payment for February, if I start in January, my next mortgage payment for February is on line 5. And I did it for less. I got there for less than $1,000. That's how powerful your money is when you learn how to read an amortization schedule. All right. So I have now to do the same thing. I got to come up with 3 $460 payments to eliminate 3 lines to get down to line 5. It takes more of my money to put towards this at any given time to prepay, to save interest, and to save time on the loan. So here's what I'm saying. If you're in a situation where a builder wants to give you $12,000, say, listen, yeah, I'll buy the house. I'll buy your house, but give me the $12,000. Don't use it to buy down the rate. Give me the $12,000. Once I have the $12,000, ladies and gentlemen, what can I do with that 12 grand? You tell me. If you've been in here before, I'm not going to let the builder buy down the rate, but they're willing to pay an extra $12,000 out of their funds to buy me a lower rate. I'm saying, give me 12,000. What can I do with that 12 grand? Somebody tell me. What can I do with the 12 grand? I'm looking in the chat. I'm looking online. I want to see if any, Enyete says, put it on principal. Can I show you, Enyete, what would happen if I put it on principal? Okay. So do you see cumulative principal here, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to make this my mortgage payment here. All right. At 7.5%, make my regular mortgage payment. Eric Toom says prepay principal. All right. All right. And I make my regular mortgage payment and I'm going to add $12,000 I'm going to take the $12,000 from the builder and put it on my principal. Look what happens when I do that. It knocks off almost 3 years off this loan. Look at that. 35 payments gone. How much interest is saved, ladies and gentlemen? This is magical. I'm going to take the money from the builder. Instead of getting the lower interest rate, I'm going to take the 12 grand and apply it to principal and save $90,000 in interest I don't have to pay. You tell me which is better. Ha! Come on now. If you know how to read this thing, you can win. Strategic Secret says magical indeed. All right, magical indeed. This is what he says, okay? Magical indeed. We're going to put that answer on the screen. Eric Toombs says you could prepay principal with that thing. Take that 12 grand and put it on principal. All right. And Yete says, oh, come on. And Yete, she says, oh, she said the same thing. Put it on principal. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand what's going on here to take advantage of certain situations. If you're coming up on the new year, and let me tell you what's getting ready to happen. These interest rates are not going to stay at this level. The interest rates are going to go down. But guess what? There still aren't enough houses out there. When the interest rates go down, people are going to feel better about this. They did not watch the P.I.L.L method. They did not watch our YouTube channel. They didn't understand prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. They're going to feel much better about getting these lower interest rates, and they're going to start buying houses again like crazy once the interest rates go down. They'll feel better about it. But if there's not enough inventory, guess what's going to happen to the price of the houses, ladies and gentlemen? When people want to buy and the demand is there, but the supply isn't, what's going to happen to the price of these houses? They're going to continue to rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please listen to me now. If you're thinking about buying a house and you can afford the payment at the higher interest rates, get your house now. Get it now. Don't wait for the interest rates to go down, because as the interest rates go down, the price of the houses go up. And listen, and I'm saying this on December 13, 2023. And you're going to be able to go back to this in 2024 and says, yeah, he said that prices of the houses would go up as the interest rates go down. And I didn't take advantage when I could have. Get it now and take advantage of the higher interest rates, because let me show you another thing about these higher interest rates. Okay. If you're fortunate enough to understand this, in the first year of this loan, we're going to take a look at cumulative principal. This is why I like Brett Whistle, and I put it in the chat every time so that you guys can play around with it. Okay. In the first year, $3,800 goes to principal, $31,000 and change goes to interest. So what if you were to prepay the $38,000, give this to the bank all at once? $3,800 rather. $3,800 goes to principal, $31,000 to interest. What if you were to prepay $3,800, $3,871.70? You're paid down to here in 1 month. You just skipped out on all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12. You never have to pay those. That is a significant interest savings. If you lower the interest rate, I want to show you what $3,800 does to your loan. $3,800 takes off 1 year off this loan. Lower the interest rate, $3,800 takes off about 8.5 months. That's it. Lower the interest rate. Your money doesn't work as hard for you. Can I ask a favor of everyone who's watching this right now? Mark the timestamp on this. Make sure that everybody you know understands this. Lowering the interest rate, your money does not work as hard for you if you can afford the higher interest rate. Lowering the interest rate does not put you in a better financial position if you have the money to take advantage of prepayment. If you have the money to take advantage of prepayment, and I'm telling you right now, most people do. We help them to find the money to prepay. People say, I don't have the money. Yeah, you do. You have the money. We just need to track your income and expenses. If you track your expenses, it's easier to see how much money you have left over after all the bills are paid. Take that money and you can use your discretionary funds to kill a lot of interest, eliminate months from your loan, and and you save so much doggone interest. You can literally pay this loan off and all other loans in about 7 years because of this. Take that money from the builder and apply it to principal, saving a ton of money. Do I have any questions? I got Kenny on the stage. I got Sheila on the stage. I got Agnete on the stage. Do I have anybody who wants to talk about what we just learned today? Come up to the stage. If you're thinking about getting a house or you know someone who's about to get a house, come up to the stage. Let's talk about it. Listen, and if you already have a house, let's see how we can put you in a better position. Ask your questions now. Put it in the chat. Come up to the stage. And if you're already on the stage, open up your mic. Nobody wants to talk to me this morning? Oh, come on now. This is good information. This is good stuff. Come up to the stage. And if you're already on the stage, open up. All right. Turn the volume down there, Agnete. I heard you. Come on up. What do you have to say?
I'm over here looking like a technical engineer. I'm over here with the YouTube and the Clubhouse.
Come on now.
So the thing is, like, I'm not done. And I am working with a family right now who this is the entire conversation. The interest rate, interest rate, interest rate, interest rate, interest rate. I completely agree with you. This is mind blowing that people are being told to, will buy down only for you to pay more out of your pocket every month. I will also say in the chat that I did add that a lot of times when you said that the 12,000 can actually like tell the builder to give you the 12,000 in your hand and you use it to your discretion, the builder doesn't want to give you that. They'll tell you, well, we can't just give you the 12,000, but we can give it to you if you're going to use it for buy down. And I'm sorry, let me recant that. They tell you you can put that down you can use it how you want to. I'm sorry. You can use it how you want to either reduce the purchase amount, buy down your rate, or use it towards closing costs. So I guess my question would be to you, in the event that 12,000 is given to you and you can't use it on principal, do you think the next best direction would be to use it on the purchase amount?
You see, money is fungible. And you just asked a very good question, Agnete. So if I have the money for closing, all right, if I have the money for closing, but I don't have to use all of it. Okay, they're going to give me $12,000. They say, listen, we have to use it towards closing costs. Now, if they use the 12,000 towards closing, I have an additional 12,000 that I didn't need. Does that make sense?
I know the answer. Yes.
Don't you just love it? Come on. Hey, Agnete, do you have anything else before I go to Eric?
No, thank you.
But listen, if you want me to talk to your clients, listen, show them this video. Show them the last 2 videos and let them know, don't worry about interest rate. If you can afford the payment, you're actually better off getting your house now instead of waiting for the interest rates to go down.
They actually have the money, but shoppers want a bargain. And even if you're selling them a lie, as long as it looks like a bargain and they can sit at the table and say, yeah, you had 7%, I got 5%. Nobody really understands this. these details until they, at least like you said, watch your video. So I will forward this link to them.
Please do. And listen, if you call the office, here's the telephone number to the office. It's 256. I'm gonna put it in there for you. 256 886 1867. You can set it up so I can do a Zoom with your clients and explain this to them and help you make that sale. Listen, we love to do that for you.
Amen.
All right. So, and I'm going to put that in online as well. 256 886 1867. All right. And if you need me to talk to somebody for you, we can set it up, a consultation. I'll be glad to help you as a realtor. If you're an MLO, a mortgage loan originator, I can help you sell these higher interest rates because if they can afford it, they can be better off with the higher interest rates than the lower ones because you are going to be engaged in financial education for your clients. Eric, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Listen to that radio voice, man. Listen, I need to trade. I need to trade voices. What do you got for me this morning?
Well, so I'm in a house that is we've been in this house for 5 years. We're in a decent growing area that is values have gone up. So we're probably around 100, maybe 100 plus, thousand in equity. So my thinking is, hey, why don't I just sell the house now, get the equity, use some of that money to go pay down on a new house, and then, a house that, probably might be double the size of this one, and then use this P.I.L.L method, I guess. What are your thoughts? And here's another thing. I'm thinking if we hold off for another 5 years, that, I'm thinking that the equity, of course it's going to increase because we're going to pay it down, and this area is still growing. So once they get through finishing everything, I'm thinking, the value might even be up even more. So I'm just trying to find the right time to, hey, you need to sell now, get what you want, or vice versa.
Well, here's the thing, Eric. If you wait, of course, if your house is worth more, then the house you want to buy is going to be worth more.
That's, yeah, I was looking at that. That's correct. That's correct.
So I don't know. It could be 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't know. But here's what I do know. The sooner you make the decision, the more equity you will have in your house sooner. That much I do know.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. And so here's the other thing. So most people in your position, all right, most people in your position, they said, well, if I get a house now, it's going to be between 7.5 and 8%. But right now I have a 3.5% mortgage. Is yours around 3.5?
That's correct. We're about 3.5, 3, might be 3.2.
3.2. So you can't share this with your friends. And because the reason why you can't share this with your friends, because every one of your friends is going to say, and your accountant and your financial planner and your CPA says, you're giving up 3.5% to take 7%. It makes no sense. And that's what they'll say. And that's what most people are thinking right now. Truth. Is that about true?
That's correct. They're going to like, man, you're crazy. You did that. And another thing I'm looking at, like you said, if I'm going to sell this house and I'm gonna have all this equity, I can use my equity to start, buying down those line items, if you want to say it like that.
Yeah, the thing is, Eric, if you do that, here's what we're looking at. Okay, you get your equity out of your house. Now, I got a question for you. Do you want to sell your house? Because you don't have to.
That's the thing. Why don't we just stay here, use your method, pay this bad boy off in the next 5 to 7 years, and now we got all kind of equity.
Well, here's what I'm also saying. You're sitting on that equity. Equity can evaporate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What if you had what if there was a way for you to keep your current house and get the equity out and buy the next house?
Now you're talking. That's exactly what we need to do.
So if you could get a HELOC, home equity line of credit,
That's correct.
there's your down payment for your next house.
Mm-hmm.
Buy the next house or build it. Okay. And then put a renter in the current house.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is it's a pretty nice neighborhood you're in right now.
Yeah, HOA probably would want that, but you know.
Okay. Is that an HOA problem? They don't allow renters?
I have to
check on that.
Yeah.
Check on that, my brother. Because listen, if you can do that, you're going to put yourself in a very good position so you can get the equity out. All right. Can I show you what you don't need to do with your equity? Okay. Since you brought it up, are you watching my stuff on YouTube right now?
Yeah. Let me go back in the other room.
All right. So listen, let's talk about it. So he's going to take a look at buying his new house. All right. And while I have you here, Eric, about how much are we going to be spending for that new house? Give me a number. Or I can use the 420,000 I have on the screen. Yeah, just turn the volume. You can just turn the volume down on your other device there, your computer or whatever. Okay. And then you can use the volume from Clubhouse. All right. So about how much?
Do 400,000.
Okay.
Just 400,000.
All right,
Go right.
So we're gonna change this from 420. We're gonna do 400,000. All right. And you say you're gonna have about how much in equity? About 100,000.
That's correct. Say 100,000.
All right. So let's just say we can use 80% of that. So 80K, $80,000 if we got a home equity line of credit and we used it all up to make a down payment. All right. So listen. So on our house here of $400,000, okay, 10% would be 40,000. Okay. 20% would be 80,000.
That's correct.
Okay. I put 20% down on my new house because I can get that out of my old house. I got all 80 grand. So now if I put 80 grand down, that means my loan would be, okay, let's go ahead and duplicate this. Boy, I love these numbers. Okay. So we're going to put down 20, another 2380. So now our mortgage is $380,000. If I put 80% down, $80,000, that would be 20% down on my conventional loan. I avoid what, Eric?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking up there. It's a little delay, but say that again now.
Okay. Do I avoid PMI?
That's correct.
Okay. If I put, so here's what I'm going to say. Never put 20% down.
That number should be 320. I'm sorry.
320?
Yeah.
Did I do it wrong? Okay. Thank you. Listen, I never said I was a math person.
Just a numbers person.
Hey, there you go. Okay. So because we started out at 400,000. I was thinking
That's
for
correct.
420. So we changed it from 400,000 and we put 80 grand down. It would be 420. You're exactly right. Thank you. I appreciate you, Anyete. I appreciate it. Okay. So now here's what I'm saying. Instead of doing this, what if we did this instead? And you tell me. We're going to duplicate this tab. Okay. Now, I want to put 10% down on this loan because that is That's what I need. That's the minimum for my conventional loan, right? So I'm going to add another 10 to this. That would be 430,000 for this loan. Okay, 430,000. That's my loan now. All right. Versus 320,000 here. All right, so I'm going to move this over to here and move this over to here. All right, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take that 320 and we want 330 here. Okay, there we are. All right, so those are my two loans. I could do 320, put the whole 80% down, and avoid PMI. Or I can have PMI and only put 10% down. Okay. So I had $80,000, but I used 40,000 of it. If I do this one. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm not doing this right. All right, I put 80,000 down and I'm down to 420. I'm going to take 40 instead of doing that, I'm going to have 40,000 down. That would be 360. 360. All right. So listen, I need a co-pilot. Okay. So we got 360 versus 320. So everybody out there who has this money is going to do this. They're going to put this as a down payment, avoid PMI, and we are good to go. All right. But I'm saying do this loan. Go in with it 360. So Eric, if we're here, I still have $40,000, don't I?
That's correct.
What can I do with that 40,000 now?
With that 40,000, you can put it to the principal, or you can make those payments.
So you were planning. Let's say, turn the volume all the way down on your computer or your iPad or whatever you're doing, and you can use the volume you can use the sound from Clubhouse here. All right, because I hear an echo and it throws me off.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Gotcha.
All right, so here's what I want to show you. Let's take that 40,000 instead, because if we start out at 120,000 on line 1 of this mortgage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or
you can do those right there.
I can take this loan because I still want to get down to my 320,000, right? Okay. But I start out at 360. But now I'm going to take a look at cumulative principal. Let me go down. Let me put my 40,000 on principal and look what it does to this loan. Ooh, I'm scrolling. I'm still scrolling. Listen, I'm working hard to get to $40,000. I just take my $40,000. I just took off 107 payments, and I still have my $320,000 loan, don't I?
Wow.
I'm still down. I'm still at 80%, aren't I? And I only have to pay PMI 1 month, and I can apply to have it taken off. Which way is better, Eric?
But, okay.
That way.
Let me ask you this.
Come on, man.
So, so I can really get this. Instead of you doing it in the front end, paying the whole down payment of 80 grand, you went and just did 10%, and then you applied it after the loan is finished. You applied it, then maybe made the first payment, and then applied 40 grand to the principal on the second payment, and then you just eradicated all those payments.
That's exactly what we just did. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
And you could do this on car loans, credit cards.
Listen, never put a large down payment on a car loan. Never put a large down payment on a house. put down as much as you need to put down to get into the thing and take the rest of that money and do something else with it. Now, if you worked with us, we would show you how to strategically use that money to save a lot of money. You probably would not put it all down at one time, but you would strategically put it down. That would save you more interest, and you could probably make a little bit more money with it if you were involved in real estate investing. Okay.
I am. I have several other properties, and I need to strategically do this for every property I got.
There you go.
P.I.L.L's property properly to keep doing all this. It's a lot.
Okay. So can I show you something else?
Yeah.
That most real estate investors don't see. Okay. For me to have, because if this was a rental, my tenant would be giving me this money. Okay. My tenant would be giving me this money, and I'd be making this mortgage payment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the first year on this thing, because we're going to do the 360 one here. We're going to do the higher one, 360. In the first year, my tenant gives me money. Okay. And they give me 12 times the payment of 2517.17. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 25, 17. Okay, 25, 17, and 17 cents. Now I'm renting it for more than that, of course. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm taking that part of the money and paying the mortgage with it. So I'm applying and I'm multiplying that by 12. Okay. So they gave me $30,000 to pay the mortgage with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And everybody at where the real estate meetups, or where you go, the real estate the real estate investors hang out, and they say, listen, they just gave me that money, so they're actually paying my mortgage off and buy the equity for me. Oh, well, at the end of the year, you have $3,318.57 in equity, but most of your money went to the bank. Now, as a real estate investor, we're looking at the front end. How much am I cash flowing?
Mm-hmm.
I cash flow quite a bit. I just take part of the money and pay the loan. The interest I pay over here is just the cost of doing business, correct?
Correct. That's right.
Okay. So here's what I'm saying. If they're building equity for you, okay, why give away all this money now that you know the P.I.L.L method? Okay. So what if you're like some real estate investors, and out of all the rents that you bring in, you're setting aside a certain percentage of your money for repairs and maintenance?
10% for maintenance.
Okay.
10% for,
Can I ask you some questions about that?
Go ahead.
Where's that money sitting right now? The maintenance money.
It'll just be sitting there in the account.
Okay.
Doing nothing.
And how much interest is it making?
Nothing. Matter of fact, inflation's at 7%.
Oh, come on, boy. You're losing money. You're losing money. All right. So listen, this is just an example.
Probably more than 7%.
Could you take $3,000, if this was your loan, $3,000 out of the savings account, apply it to principal, knock off 1 year off this loan, and save this interest?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I do the return, the ROI on this for you?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to put that on the screen. Here's the ROI. Okay. We got 26,000. I'm just going to round it off. 26,000 in interest savings. I'm going to divide it by $3,300. Divide it by 3,300. And then when you get your answer, you multiply it by 100 to get your return on investment. Okay. So we're going to then multiply by 100. That's 787% return on your money.
Wow.
Yeah, that part.
Wow.
And so now here's what you do next. Then once you figure how much you're putting into the bank account, how long would it take you to build $3,300 back up in your bank account? How much? So let's just say it takes what? 3, 4, 5 months? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. You were at the what, $2,500 a month?
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, let's say 4 months.
4 months. Takes 4 months. Okay, it takes 4 months to build it up. So I'm already down to here, right? I've already taken a year off. And I don't want to deplete my reserve fund. So I'm going to build it up over 4 months. So over the next 4 months, I'm going to make this payment, this payment, this payment, and this payment. Now I have my money back in my reserve fund. Could I take another $3,300 and knock another year off?
Oh my goodness.
60. So that'd be all the way down to here, 29. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Now it took me the first month, I took off a year. I paid another 4 months. That's 5 months total, right? And then I took another year off, and I did that in 1 month. So I've got 6 months into this thing. I'm already down to here. 6 months into this thing, and I've got $8,000 in equity and saved most of this $64,000 I would have paid. So if I look at 8 months, all right, if I look at, okay, I got 1 month, I got 4 months, and a 5th month. I've got 5 months in, and my interest cost is right around $2,200. Okay, 2,200 times 5 equals $11,000. Okay, to pay down to here. So this much equity only cost me $11,000 or $12,000, not $64,000 of the rents my tenants gave me. What do you think? What do you think, Eric?
I think that's awesome. And you know what? Another thing that I'm, doing the HELOC,
yes,
and things like that. If I sold my home, outright sold it, I would have some capital gains right there, right?
Right.
Doing the HELOC, I'm not paying taxes on that.
Ooh wee.
Borrow money.
Ooh wee.
Yeah. We need to start working together, brother.
Listen, man, I'm gonna put my link at the top of the room right here. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna put our link at the top of the room, ice10k.com. I got it crawling across the screen. All right, on YouTube. All right. So we've got ice 10k. That's the number 10 and the letter k.com. All right. So we added that link to the top of the room. All right. And we got it scrolling across the screen right now. Go to ice10k.com and get a savings and earnings report. So Eric, you literally can go. I'm going to put it on the screen for everybody. Okay. We're going to put it for the screen. All right. We're going to invite Steve up to talk too. So we're going to put it on the screen and ice10k.com. All right. Now you may recognize E.T. the hip hop preacher. All right. Because we're going to play a video at the end where he says he used the P.I.L.L. method to pay off his home early, made his wife feel a lot better. So E.T. the hip hop preacher, #1 motivational speaker in the world, used principles from the P.I.L.L. method. All right. So, and then underneath his picture, you click this button that says, get your savings and earnings report. and you would put all of your mortgages in and all of your other debt, mortgages, credit cards, car loans, put it all in. All right. And just follow this, and you can get a free savings report. You can know the month, day, and year you could be debt free on everything. You can also know how much interest you could save. As far as a real estate investor, Eric, you can literally see how much equity you can create in such a short period of time and pay so little interest to get it, so that you can cash out refi on your current properties 10 to 15 years sooner. Use that cash to buy more houses. What do you think, Eric?
I was just going to say to buy more houses. Matter of fact, multifamily.
Come on, boy. I love that multifamily thing. Come on. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I got to get there.
Come on. So listen, contact us, and my staff will take good care of you. Send this in. Just a 2-step process. All right. And that's for everybody that's listening. If you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, we can tell you. And we'll give you this report for free. If you're a real estate investor, you may not be interested in paying off the debt. You want to use debt to buy more, to increase your cash flow and to increase your net worth. All right. And have the houses pay for themselves. But everybody else has to wait on market conditions as well as paying down the loan to increase their equity so that they can cash out refi, which takes way too long. We can get you there 10 to 15 years sooner by leveraging dormant cash and get 500 to 700% return on your money instead of letting it sit in the bank. All right. Oh man. And you're still investing, but you're saving a ton of interest at the same time. Your equity costs you money. And if you're in business, then you want to keep this one thing in mind. How do I lower expenses? We lower expenses on everything else. We lower expenses on paint. We lower expenses on doorknobs. We lower expenses on a drywall. We want to lower our expenses on the people that we hire to do work for us. We want to lower expenses so that we can increase profits. But the one thing we've never been taught, no matter what the interest rate is, we've never been taught how to buy money at a discount. Buy your money wholesale. Stop paying retail prices for your money, and then your profits will go through the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, I love talking about this. Listen, anybody else got anything to say about what we're talking about? Open your mic and let's talk. We've got a few minutes left. Steve, I see you came to the stage this morning. How are you doing, sir? All right, he can't talk right now. He's probably driving. Hey, Eric, did I answer all your questions? Oh, there's Steve.
No, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to see you in here again. All right.
Yeah. I'm listening. You know, I'll be working out while I'm listening.
Listen, man, we had a good show today. We're almost done. We had a really good show today. We had some people come to the stage and ask some questions. And this information is going to be on YouTube forever. So this is good info. Thanks, Steve, for coming in and hanging out with us.
So I access it by going to YouTube, and I got to put in the date since I missed it.
Oh no, it's going to be if you go to YouTube, they're in order. So just go to the last one there. Right yeah. It's the title is Win the Mortgage Game, and they're in there by number and by date. Today's show is episode 284.
284. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. God bless, man.
God bless you. All right, Mr. Eric, what do you think about all this?
It's time to stop procrastinating and do what I got to do.
Okay, man. Listen, reach out to me when you call. Let my assistant know that you're talking to, that you want to speak directly to me. You want me to handle your situation. Okay.
We'll do it. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Listen, sir, thank you very much for coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I want to share with you the rest of the story in the last 8 minutes that we have of your time. All right. Does anybody else have any more comments or questions before I share the last bit of information with everybody? Nothing? All right. So, Joan says in the chat here, if PMI is added to a loan, do you not need to wait 5 years before you can ask for it to be removed? No. What you need is to pay your loan down to 80%. How long does it take to get it there? And in the situation that we talked about, most people want to pay off the 80% right away. They use it as a down payment. But what I'm saying is you could take that money and use it as a prepayment and then have it removed. As long as you get to 80%, you can have it removed. All right. So Jones says, where will the home equity payment come from? Home equity is the difference between how much you owe and how much the house is worth. So if you owe $200,000 and the house is worth $300,000, that's $100,000 in equity. Does that make sense, Joe? All right. All right. Oh, and yet they said the renter will pay the HELOC. You got that right. Let the renter pay it back and leverage that cash. I love having these conversations where not only we can grow as real estate investors, but we can learn how to leverage the bank's money and get a bigger bang out of our buck that we're borrowing from the bank. When I pay you back, listen to this, everybody. When you pay the bank back, you can pay them back in such a way that it makes it impossible for them to charge you interest. Okay? They're going to get some, but not as much as they thought they were going to get. And that's what we talk about here at the P.I.L.L Method. And you don't get this information anywhere else. If you learned something today, put a number 9 in the chat. If you've learned something today, put a number 9 in the chat. And all of you that learned something and want to share it with people, let's go back. Let me go back here. I want to do something for you if you do something for me. Okay. If you will go down and underneath my picture here, underneath my I'm sorry, not underneath my picture. I want to take this back. Go to my ICE 10K card. I'm going to take something off the screen here so you can actually see it. At the bottom, when you first go to the card, at the bottom here in the white, click on Become an Affiliate. Okay, we got an affiliate training coming up next Thursday. Affiliate training next Thursday. Fill this out today so that you can get your information via email. All right. You will not get an instant reply when you fill this out. It only takes 15 seconds, okay, to fill this out, and you'll get an email the first of the week, and we're going to tell you about how you can get in on the affiliate training, and the affiliate training is only $24.95. Okay, $24.99, something like that, $24.99, less than $25. So come in, get your affiliate training, and here's what you could do as an affiliate. By sharing the P.I.L.L Method information, and you don't even have to sell it. You just point people to the YouTube channel and call them 2 days later. Okay? You don't even have to point out specific videos. Say, watch this channel. If you find somebody who is absolutely fed up with how they're dealing with their debt right now, they want to do something different. We only want people to talk to that want to do something different. So if they want a better way to eliminate debt, send it to the YouTube channel, call them 2 days later. All right. As an affiliate, guess what? You're also going to tell us how you want to get paid. Call them 2 days later. And then what do? If they want more information, then scroll down underneath my picture on my ICE 10K card and click on Refer a Friend. Click on that, and this is what comes up. Refer family and friends, put in their name, put in their phone number, put in their email, put in their zip code. All right. And your name and phone number goes in here. When they become a client, we'll pay you $300. So you can literally make, by sending us 5 clients in 1 month, because we do a graduated scale, you can make between $300 to $3,000 a month just sending people to the YouTube channel, following up with them, and then filling this out and sending it to us. And when they become a client, we'll pay you. No selling involved, just pointing people to the video. They want more information. I don't want to talk to people who have not seen the videos. Please don't do that, because my staff will call you first to see if you properly prepared these people for us to call. Okay? If you properly prepared them, then we'll call them. If you have not, we'll give you one more chance. All right? And if you haven't followed all the instructions, my staff will not call your people. Okay? Because if they haven't watched the videos, they're not ready for us. Okay? Send them to the videos, ask them if they want more information. And if they do, fill this part out, hit submit, and my people will take care of it from there. All right? And we'll pay you once they become a client. So now here's the next thing. I do have a book. My book is here. Click on buy the book, and you get additional information on how to understand what the bank has been doing to us for years. This is not a 1, 2, 3 ABC step-by-step what to do to save maximum amounts of interest. We want you to learn what's really going on behind the scenes and get the tools you need to eliminate debt. And the tools you need, one of the tools is going to be the opportunity cost calculator that does all of the math. All right, Eric, we're going to put all of your mortgages in, and the program is going to do all the math and say, take this amount of money in this month and apply it to loan number 5 instead of loan number 2. And we're going to calculate your interest savings for that 1 month. And then we're going to start the process over again. And every 2, 3, or 4 months or so, we're going to use some cash, apply it to one of the debts, and kill a ton of interest. And our program is going to guide you like financial GPS. Move this much money in this month on this day of the month. Here's how much interest you save. It is phenomenal the way this program works. Okay? So reading the book will help you to understand. And right now, the book is on sale. Right now, the book is on sale. Okay? So go ahead and do that. Get the book. All right? And go back here. And then listen. So we're getting the book. We're getting a savings and earnings report, and we're becoming an affiliate so that you can help us get the message out. I appreciate everybody being here today. The last thing we're going to do is hear from Dr. Eric Thomas, and I will see you again on Friday. All right. Talk to you on Friday, everybody. Let's hear from Eric. Let me find his video here. Okay. There he is.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.